stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon, morning. It's not even close to afternoon here. Good morning. Weird what a day makes a difference. Sometimes you just need to go to sleep, get some good rest, start the next day. This weekend was kind of tough, man. That was a tough weekend. But we stay sober. There's a hole in this shirt. Thankfully, I know how to sew. It's one of those skills Gen Xers know. Most Gen Xers know how to wind a bobbin. We know how to sew. We had to take sewing classes, wood shop classes, all sorts of stuff. I actually sewed my own clothes. Oh, the sound of a cat puking sounds like I have work to do after this. What's the sound of one cat puking? I used to do this thing called live action role play where we dress up in medieval times and stuff. So I even used to wear this set of chainmail that was handmade by my friend. He did a great job on it too, man. He did a great job. I loved wearing that armor. I wouldn't be able to wear it now. I'm too fat. All right. Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm going to double check chat here because usually somebody has said something by now. Yep. There we are. Chat not working again. That's the third time in. So I'm going to go back and forth. Good morning. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Leisure. Yes, we also had to do typing. What was your record? On a typewriter, I type about 65 words a minute. On this, oh, don't get into a war with me typing back and forth. I type like 80 words a minute. In fact, I think my backspace button it's getting faded. We didn't used to have a backspace button. You know what you got? A new sheet of paper. Right? Yeah, a new sheet of paper is what you got. So this morning we're talking about what to expect in early sobriety, long-term sobriety, things like that. Before I get started, I'm going to be doing this a lot this month. It is Men's Mental Health Month. And since everybody's going to go off on Women's Month and and I know it's Pride Month also, they shouldn't have made it this month. They should have kept these things separate because now Pride's going to override men's mental health, and we really don't need that. Let's remember there's plenty of gay people out there that are men. Okay. And I am very much a supporter of Pride. Yes, I am. But they picked the wrong, and they didn't pick the wrong month. It was kind of intentional. Every day, 100 men die due to suicide. Yeah. You're here too? Amber, you're here too? There you are. Okay. Yeah, chat's not working. Chat's not working. All right. So I'm going to be big on men's mental health this month because nobody else is really talking about it. And I'm a man with a lot of mental illnesses, so I think I kind of know what I'm talking about when it comes to this. I'm going to give you one thing that a lot of women may not know. Men think of suicide often. We do. It isn't that we don't want it's not that we want to die. It's that we don't want, if we don't feel useful, if we don't feel respected in a relationship, if people don't, respect is the number one thing for a man. It's respect. And without the respect of a significant other people in our lives, we will fade away. Men do not have it easy right now. I would hate to be a younger single man trying to date in this world. I'm glad I found my girl. Um, and I'll tell you right now, if I didn't have the wife that I have, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be who I am today. There's no way I would have made it. All right, let's get started. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. Oh, what I was saying, it isn't that we really want to commit suicide as much as we just don't want to be here anymore. We can't take it. We shove it inside, and then it comes out in anger. It always comes out in anger. It'll come out as domestic violence. It'll come out as a lot of things. All right. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name's Dion. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Your man may not want to talk. Okay, but don't do this. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? No, don't do that. Because what you're saying is, I don't think you're okay. And to us, that's going to add up. Mm-mm. Hey, you seem kind of off. Do you need to talk about something? Maybe they just need to yell and scream for 2-3 minutes about nothing, and they'll feel better. Kind of like that, but then we get called misogynistic and angry, and yeah, we're angry. Men are supposed to get angry. It's how shit gets done sometimes. But I'm off topic. Actually, I'm on topic because it's Men's Mental Health Month, and I'm gonna shove it down everybody's throat. All right, let's get to it. My listeners were already like, "You're late. Are you gonna post the link? We're waiting." I didn't think people were actually sitting around waiting. So I will try, when I post what time I'll be on, I'll try and be a little better. But often I'm usually a couple minutes late. It all depends on some things, just regular things in life. Sometimes other things comes up beforehand, right? So in early sobriety, a lot of things are going to happen. They're going to list some of these things here. There are other things that I've noticed. Um, you know, but I've been seeing this as a topic a lot lately for people trying to sell their shit. So I figure I do it for free, give you all the answers that we need. I've been having this picture here. A lot of people have seen it so far. All right, here's the picture. Most of that's my family. This is my old cousin. His son just died from a motorcycle accident. It was sad. But we're here to talk about me. And I know it's hard to see me, but yes, that is an actual afro. And yes, I rocked it. I rocked it on down to Electric Avenue. And then I took it higher. We gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. And then we'll take it higher. All right. Oh, I need a little help today before I get started. All right. Okay. I'm going to the church to do sound for a funeral. So just pray that I do it correctly. No, it isn't about being perfect, but it needs to be. It's the first time I've done it, and I'm nervous, right? And I want to have all the respect that I can. So please just pray that Dion has the right actions and does what he needs to do for them. I'd appreciate that. All right, the first 3 months of sobriety are often a crucial period in addiction recovery. I would agree with this. The first 3 months are pivotal. They are. A lot of changes are going to happen. You're going to feel overwhelmed, right? I had somebody call me last week. I'm feeling overwhelmed. There's meetings this, there's meetings that, there's da 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 da. And my answer was, yeah, but you didn't drink, did you? No. You probably didn't really think about drinking, did you? Well, no. Well, there you go. Now we just need to find balance. Now we need to find balance, right? So let's get started. The first 3 months are crucial in addiction recovery, often considered the most challenging yet vital for establishing long-term sobriety. We're learning something new, and they're not going to list this part. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now. In the first 3 months, here's the key. Acceptance is the key. Why? Because you're going to be wrong about everything that comes out of your mouth. Everything that comes out of your mouth. But don't stop running it, because that's how you're going to figure out where you're wrong. This is a necessity. This is a requirement. Okay. Let's see if they're going to list the other stuff. We will find out. So there's physical, emotional challenges. There's the withdrawal symptoms. We're all familiar with that. And they suck. I'm not going to go through the withdrawal symptoms. You know them. I don't think I need to describe them to you. I'm sure you can bring them up in your memory. Mine was 9 years ago, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. Okay. I don't need the new person to remind me how bad it is out there. And please stop saying that that they're the most important reason, because it reminds us that it's not working out there. That's a cut down. That is pride. That's enough of that. We don't need to say that. If that's the case, that's great, but keep it to yourself. A newcomer doesn't need to be put down. All right. We got to find reasons to say yes. All right. Strong emotions is next. Been experiencing those at all? Oh no, feelings. Nothing left but feelings. I don't even remember where I got that song from. If uh if somebody could tell me, I would appreciate that. Leisure says out in the streets. Oh, because I was singing. I was singing. He also says, I've been preaching acceptance this week on the podcast. Yes, acceptance. Acceptance is the key that will set you free. Yeah. It's an old AA saying. We have a lot of AA sayings we don't say anymore. It's because it's a generational thing. So expect a range of intense and potentially fluctuating emotions, including sadness, anger, anxiety, guilt, and shame, as you adjust to life without substances and confront the underlying issues. Now, I'm going to tell you what most of this is: stigma. It is the stigma that has been attached to you, the guilt and the blame. The guilt and the blame, that is stigma. Anger, sadness, anger, anxiety, guilt. Anxiety. No, that is not from the stigma. That is from the alcohol. Why are you sad? Because number one, you just lost your best friend. We're dealing with death. There's another death involved in this too. The death of the old self. It's hard, man. It is hard to get rid of the old self. We're used to it. There's comfort in it for us. But the problem is we've been taking alcohol and pushing down our emotions for so long that these are going to come back in a rush. One day, you'll be like, oh, sobriety feels good. Man, I love this pink cloud. And then suddenly everything's going to get fucking real on you. Bam. Like that. Literally. And that pink cloud's going to end. And if your feet are not firmly placed on the ground, you will fall. You're going to hit your face on the ground. It's going to fucking hurt. And it may cause you to go back out. There's nothing wrong with a pink cloud. And you may have more than one pink cloud. What is a pink cloud? It is something that you are experiencing that is new. The first time you rode a roller coaster, the first time that you got to go to Disneyland, the first time that you drank, all these things were new and you experienced a pink cloud, which is an over emotion of excitement. And excitement will fuck you up just as bad as the others, if not worse. Because what does your brain want to do when it's excited? Well, it's party time. Party time. Oh, yeah. Walking down the street because we're going to go party. Right? It's going to take a little bit. You know what works really good on these emotions? Steps 4 and 5. Step 3 works really well on these emotions. Right? That's why we tell you to relax and take it easy. Right? In that first week, if you want a Netflix binge and go to meetings and sleep, do it. That's what you need to do. But we have to sooner or later get to what we call the no matter what club, which means we don't drink no matter what. And you can get there, right? Cravings. Cravings for the substance you were using can be powerful and persistent, triggered, and they're always triggered, okay, by stress, emotions, and environmental cues. Environmental cues is big for us. I went out more times because I was a chronic slipper. I went out more times because it was Friday. It was 85 degrees out. The top was down on the beamer, and the Eagles came on the radio. That's all I need. That's all I need. That is an environmental cue. What else are environmental cues? Bars. We've got to have a good reason, especially in those first 3 months. Okay. This is the one that scares me. Somebody has a month of sobriety. They're going to go to Mexico. Well, we planned this trip. This just happened in the grassroots. Somebody literally asked me to be their sponsor. And I said, we should talk before you go to that wedding in Mexico. Haven't seen him since. That was 3 weeks ago. That was 3 weeks ago. Mexico is a very, very dangerous place for somebody in new recovery. It's a very dangerous place for somebody with long-term sobriety. Got to have good business. I've never been to Mexico. One day I would like to go. I'd like to go to the beaches and enjoy things and relax. Right? But, okay. So anyway, cravings. So they're usually triggered. Now, a craving lasts 70 seconds. That's how long a usual craving lasts. Craving, not obsession. Obsession is something different. We haven't talked, and we're not talking about that here. Not that I know of. Sleep and appetite changes. You might experience difficulty sleeping or excessive sleepiness, and your appetite may fluctuate. Just listen to your body in the beginning. In the first 3 months, it's going to kind of be like this, but after a while, it's going to get to this. Okay. If you're having trouble sleeping, Benadryl. Do you know what almost everybody tells me though? Oh, Benadryl has the opposite effect on me. Okay. Then go try melatonin or something. I'm sorry, but it's antihistamines don't wake people up. But we alcoholics, we need to be unique. Okay. Well, no, you just okay. Well, then suffer. That's your choice, man. That's your choice. If you're oversleeping, excessive sleeping, let it happen. Your body needs the rest. You haven't been sleeping for years. Not real sleep. Mm-mm. Yes, I'm gonna say it. I gotta check chat here. While I'm doing that, Okay, so sleep is this. When you drink, you don't dream. When you don't dream, you don't REM. And when you don't REM, you don't get real sleep and you go cuckoo. It creates dementia. That's part of it. Let's get back to some of these. Leisure says they are, so newcomers. This was what I was saying about newcomers earlier. They are the most important person because they made it to their first meeting. I would agree with that, Leisure. Amber says they're the most important person because we can only keep what we have by giving it away. There it is, Amber. Thank you very much, both Leisure and Amber. I appreciate both of those. Amber also says, according to Google, AA is big in Mexico. Yes, it is, especially in Mexico City. Sounds like um, they're cool with more open and crosstalk mediums. Oh, I did not know that. That's good. That's cool to know. Thank you, Amber, very much. So you think I'm the only one that you're going to learn from here? My friends know their shit, man. Thank you for looking that up. I like it when people go outside the box and we discover more. Right? So if you're gonna go to Mexico, go to a fucking meeting. Problem is they're usually all inclusive. So, you go there, you don't want to fit in, so you get your mocktail pina colada, who gives a fuck? Just go enjoy yourself. You don't have to care what other people are thinking, especially if you're on vacation. And if it's going to be a wedding, just don't go. If you are not ready, then don't fucking go. You are not going to miss out on anything. I have found out that when I follow God's will, I don't miss out on anything in this world. Right. And I was one of those kids where I'm like, what am I missing out on? What am I missing out on? Because I was always missing out on stuff. Right. All right. Magnesium spray. That's another good way to get some sleep. What you do is you get some magnesium, you boil it down, you put it in a little spray bottle and just spray it straight onto your skin. All right. So how do we get through these 3 months, right? Building a foundation for recovery, developing coping mechanisms. It's essential to learn healthy coping strategies to manage cravings, stress, and difficult emotions by without resorting to substance use. What are some good things? Feel free to put this in chat. Also, go for a walk. Put on some music. Go for a walk. That's what I did in the beginning. Go do something. Go do the dishes. What I would recommend is that you start working on what I would call your living amends. Because remember, we had all those strong emotions of sadness, anger, guilt, and shame. Well, we need to work on those. So, how do we do that? Take out the trash. Go pick up the dog poop. Go dig a hole. I'm not kidding. Scrub the damn baseboards. Do something so that when you walk by it, you go, dang, that looks good. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I got that taken care of today. If it's a big thing, do a corner. Maybe you got a room and it's just full of crap. Then just do one little corner. You don't have to do the whole room. Just get started on it. Little things. The little things kill, but the little things also build. Go take a shower. Drink a glass of water. Just do something else. If you're not sure what to do, write down when you're a little bit more lucid and thinking of things. Write down the things that you could do when these things pop up. But if you do your living amends, and what is a living amends? It just means being a better person, doing the things that we weren't taking care of before, right? I'm going to go to chat here, see if we have any. Um, Leisure says, create some art. Amber says, just go outside and get some fresh air and sunlight. Yeah, go sit in the sun, get some vitamin D. I'm telling you, the sun and nature are restorative. Okay. Um, Amber says, but yes, exercise, read the big book, go to a meeting and share. These are all great suggestions. These are all things that'll help you with healthy coping mechanisms. Pray, meditate, put on some loud music and fucking dance. Sing out loud. Why not? I do it all the fucking time. I sing here all the time. Right? I even shake my booty a little every now and again. It's funny because I have no coordination but a shit ton of rhythm. It's weird. I'll walk into a wall, but I can sit down and play the drums. I don't know. Establish a support system. It takes a tribe to get someone and keep someone sober. In this case, I would say stay open-minded. Find your people. We're wrecked by loneliness. We alcoholics, I'm gonna tell you now, it all comes down to one thing. We're just looking for a place to belong. Because we don't belong anywhere. So find a place where you belong. I tried to put that into a Linkin Park song and it failed. It failed. Connect with support groups like AA or NA, therapists, and supportive friends and family to build a network that understands and encourages your recovery. There are key things in there. Don't hang out with people that don't encourage your recovery. Okay, you might have some friends. Here's the key. If you have a friend that is begging you to continue drinking, they have a drinking problem. I don't know if they're alcoholic or not. I don't know, but they definitely have a drinking problem. So you drank more than them. You acted worse than them. So what it does, it justifies their drinking. That's what they want. And what is that? That is a spiritual malady. There is no reason to be angry at them, but you do not have to hang out with them. I'm going to tell you what's going to start to happen because people run around saying, oh, you know what? Everybody just, they put alcohol in my face and they keep asking me bullshit they do. No, they don't. Then quit hanging out in Mexico in the bar. Fuck. I will tell you what will happen, and I know it happens because I watch it happen all the time. Somebody gets a little bit of time, usually within 30 days. If not, it's going to happen within 6 months. One of your friends is going to come to you and say, what are you doing? I need help too. That's what will fucking happen. That's what will happen. Enough with the fucking lies and the bullshit. Oh, they're asking me to drink. You ain't that important. That is your own mind telling you that shit. That's like people that, they'll do their ads or whatever. And the first thing they say is, people always ask me. Lie. That's a lie. Nobody ever asks them that question. They don't, especially when you started out with that. Therapy. Therapy is great. The other day we were talking about wait 6 months, things like that. That's where a psychiatrist, not therapy. Therapy, you can start whenever the fuck you want. And if you need to find a good therapist and you don't know how, let me know. I'll show you. I'm great at picking a therapist. It's based on what you want, but there's some good questions, right? Family. To hang out with your damn kids. Go throw the ball. That'll remind you why you are doing what you are doing. Create a routine. I'm all about routine, man. Sundays, I do laundry. It is a rule in the house. Nobody else gets to do laundry on Sundays but me. It's just a routine I have. It's part of my sobriety. I go live every day. And it's usually within about an hour after I wake up. It's a routine. I pray every morning. I do certain things every day. I pretty much go to the same meetings every day. In fact, there's usually a 10 o'clock that I'm usually in right now, but I got to pretty myself up and I got to be out of here by noon. Oh, Facebook chat is working. It's just YouTube not working. So let's go back to speaking of which, read the big book, go to a meeting, get a therapist, says Amber. Heather says, call or text a closed mouth friends. Leisure says, your real friends will stay. That's right. I have any friends when so establish structured daily routine that includes healthy habits like exercise, balanced meals, regular sleep can contribute to stability and reduce the risk of relapse. Go to bed at the same time each night. Get up at the same time. Create a routine. Get used to going to a meeting each day. Does that always mean an AA meeting? No, you're in a meeting right now. You're in a meeting right now. Did I say hi, Gary? I'm pretty sure I did. And then, yeah, I did because we were talking about chat. All right. Meet with your sponsor. You went to a meeting today. It's usually best to get to an AA meeting, though, if you can, a group of people, and so that you belong. And that's another thing, that routine. So what does a routine do? It creates accountability, and accountability is the number one way to stay sober. The number one way. Yeah. When I have a new sponsee, I don't care how much time they have. They usually have less than 3 months, usually, but for the first month they are with me every night. They need to write me, I stayed sober today. I'm doing all right. That's it. I don't ever answer. Doesn't need to turn. Why do we do that? Oh, well, look, liquor store's right there. Oh, I can't. I've got to text Dion later. I can't. I have an AA meeting at 5 o'clock. I can't. I have this responsibility. See, the intentions start to change. Accountability is the number one way to keep somebody sober, but you cannot bubble wrap them. That is codependency, right? They're coming out with newfangled ways where, like, you have a little thing on your wrist, like a bracelet, and it tells people if you've drank. That ain't gonna work. That's not accountability. That's not accountability. That is pressure, right? Some people have to blow into something before they start their car. That is accountability. It's something different. The courts had them do something. But when I have to blow to appease everybody out there to build trust, I'm on the wrong track. I'm on the wrong track. And the people that sell those, they don't care about your sobriety and your accountability. They care about their bottom line. Okay. And those things are different. Leisure says structure is crucial to recovery. Yes, it is. Structure, a bad word that we alcoholics don't like. So potential benefits and how to mark progress. Let's get to some good stuff, right? Improve physical health. You'll likely notice improvements in your physical health as your body begins to heal from the effects of substance use. Okay. Now you may have drank a shit ton of water while you were drinking, but that is negated by alcohol. So you were dehydrated. Alcohol dehydrates you. Now you're drinking water and it's working. What's that going to do? It's going to start to clear up your skin. It's going to remove the bags under your eyes. You're going to look better. You're physically going to look better. Have you ever watched somebody come into the program and you watch them and in 30 days, they kind of look like a different person? Happens all the time. I don't look like I did when I was drinking. I was bloated. I look like a freaking Italian mobster. All right. Mental clarity. Mental fog may start to lift and you might experience increased mental clarity and improved cognitive function. That's twofold. Number one, when you drink alcohol, it reduces your coordination. Your thinking process is much slower. That's why we slur and things like that. Our cognitive isn't there. Okay. Then the sleep thing again. Everything changes with a good night's sleep. It's the first physical thing that's really going to happen is a good night's sleep. So between the alcohol and lack of sleep, You didn't have much mental clarity, and we're making choices off that mental clarity that isn't there, which means we're doing what? We're assuming everything. You can't think straight when you're like this. Nobody can, right? So your cognitive is going to start to improve. You're going to see things that you didn't see before. The grass will turn green. Colors will get brighter. And then in a literal sense, you get to see the forest for the trees. You finally start to see the beauty in the world. What was that? It was the drinking and non-sleep. We walk around in a fog. You can't see things correctly. Emotional regulation. As time goes on, you'll likely become better at managing your emotions and responding to situations without resorting to substances. What is that? 80% of the program's keeping your damn mouth shut. That's an emotional regulation. Instead of yelling about what you think you're angry about, instead you ask yourself, why am I angry? Why am I continuing to do this? You got to learn the skills. And there's only one way to learn the skills: practice. You got to practice them. If you don't practice, then you're not going to get better at it. Are you going to be perfect? No. That's how we learn. Be perfectly imperfect. It's the best way I could put it. All right. You'll react to things differently. That may take a lot more time. What helps with that? Well, the steps help with that. The steps and therapy. All right. Sense of accomplishment. This is where time comes into effect. Successfully navigating the initial challenges and reaching milestones like 30, 60, 90 days of sobriety can boost your confidence and reinforce your commitment to recovery. There's a reason why that's 30, 60, 90 days, 6 months, 9 months, and a year. There's very good reasons for that. Things work in threes around here. And when they work in threes, they work very well. Right? Leisure says stereotyping Italian. Sorry. Yeah, I'm British, so I can't really. I do a good impression of an Italian, but that's about it. I don't know. We go 40 minutes already. Okay. So the accomplishments. Remember earlier I was talking about, okay, what we cannot do here is rest on our laurels. In the first 30 days, I'm going to give you every day. I'm going to clap for every day. After that, it's going to kind of slow down. We got to learn that it's, those are accomplishments. Hell yeah, especially that 30-day, man. And I want to celebrate them. I am happy for you. But what I want you to understand is that there's more success out there than time, a lot more. And time isn't necessarily success when we live a day at a time. So we got to have a new success each day, right? Resting on your laurels means taking yesterday's success today. Well, we live it a day at a time. I already did. Last night, I did the 10th step and covered it already. What does it need to, right? But sensing those accomplishments. And get your chips, man. Get your chips. Put them in your pocket. Be proud. Okay? And don't you dare go into a meeting and say, I only got 30 days, because somebody in that meeting is going to tell you, no, you don't. You got 30 days. That is a lot. We call it 30 days, 1,000 nights for a reason. All right. Important considerations. Relapse prevention is vital to develop relapse prevention plan, including identifying triggers, coping strategies, and support sources to help you stay on track. AA does kind of do that, but just kind of. This is where therapy comes in. This is where the rest of your support system comes in. This is where God comes in. Can't be in a meeting 24 hours a day. But we still need to practice. It is more important that we practice the principles outside the meeting than inside the meeting. Professional guidance. Yeah. Consider seeking professional support from a therapist or counselor. Notice they did not say psychiatrist or doctor. We don't want you on any more drugs in the beginning. They are correct in this. Consider seeking professional support from a therapist or counselor specializing in addiction recovery to help you navigate the challenges of early sobriety and develop personalized coping strategies. I'm going to tell you what to stay away from. Recovery coaches, sober coaches, you stay away from them. I'm going to tell you this, most of them are unhealed alcoholics. They're two-steppers. Stay away from them. Closer you're going to get, because when it comes to our experience, it's one thing, but then they think they're a professional after 2 years of sobriety, and you ain't even close. 5, 6 years. I'll get you a little closer. That's how long people go to school to get their masters or bachelors and shit. Think of it that way. All right. Be very, very careful on who you go to. That's why I recommend a therapist, a clinician, a counselor, somebody who went to school for this specifically with the education. They may not have the experience. That is okay in this situation. But I can tell you now, we will not survive. You will not survive without the professionals. The first 30 days, ugh. I like that they brought this. Individual differences. We are not terminally unique, but we are beautifully unique. Okay, terminally unique means that nobody in this world has the problems that I have. And that's how alcoholics and people in addiction tend to think. Okay, it's not true. Okay, why does that happen? Lack of sleep and alcohol. Right? Everyone's recovery journey is unique, and the experiences and timelines may vary. It's true. Right? It wasn't until I was about 4 or 5 years sober that I was well enough to start sponsoring. It took me that long. Okay? Not required. Not required. See, I went through the last 10, 15 years of literal hell. I was given 6 months to live. I beat the fuck out of myself. And that's partly why I do what I do. You don't need to do that. In fact, I would recommend you don't. Well, it'll give you more experience. No, no, no. Mm-mm. No, it's the same experience. It just gets worse. So, no, you're not going to gain any more knowledge by those last 10, 15 years of literal hell. It's just a literal hell. It's more damage, if anything. You're not going to learn anything more of how alcohol. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. I promise you that. In summary, the first 3 months of sobriety are a period of significant adjustment, both physically and emotionally. Building a strong support system, learning healthy coping strategies, and establishing positive routines are crucial for navigating this challenging but transformative phase and laying the groundwork for sustained sobriety. Now, I'm going to do one other thing here, and then we're going to wrap up. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the third step promises. And how it works, page 63. And what you do is, this is a good way to kind of judge where you are at, see what kind of progress you've made. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the pronouns from we, they, them to I, me. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. So instead of just reading it, it becomes a statement. And then what you do is once you read the statement, and do this out loud, don't read it in your head, say this out loud, okay? Because there's a bigger effect when it comes out of your mouth. Then listen to your gut. If your gut gives you a good sign, it's happening. If your gut says gives you a bad sign, it hasn't happened yet. Yet. When I sincerely took such a position, all sorts of remarkable things followed. I had a new employer. Yelp. Being all powerful, he provided what I needed if I kept close to him and performed his work well. Yep, that's happening. Well, he's provided what I needed, but I'm in some financial straits right now. But it says needed, not wanted. Needed. And what I need is sobriety. What I need is a group of people. So that's absolutely happening. Established on such a footing, I became less and less interested in myself, my little plans and designs. Check. More and more, I became interested in seeing what I could contribute to life. Check. As I felt new power flow in, as I enjoyed peace of mind, as I discovered I could face life successfully, as I became conscious of his presence, I began to lose my fear of today, tomorrow, or the hereafter. Check, check, check. All of this happened, has happened, will happen again. I was reborn. That is the death of the old self that I was talking about earlier. And it happens in the third step. All right. I think that's what I could say on this one. I didn't have time to get to the long-term sobriety part. So we will do that again soon. We will do that again soon. What I'd like is for people to start sending me topics. I want people to start sending me topics. Let's challenge Dion a little bit. Let's challenge Dion. I want those hard fucking questions. I want those hard topics. I want the topics that people will not talk about. The embarrassing shit, like intrusive thoughts. We don't talk about intrusive thoughts. We don't want people to think that we have intrusive thoughts, but every alcoholic has them. And they do not go away. They will be lessened, but like fear, they do not go away. It's what I do with that counts. It is my integrity. And integrity is doing the right thing, even though no one is looking. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and have a day.